Everyone, welcome to the show. I have a quick update to share about a political violence case that I've been following for several years now. It's been 4 years. So, longtime viewers of the show, they're going to remember this. Or actually, it's been a little over 4 years. So, for those who are new to this, or maybe you need a refresher, this case involves a MAGA Republican candidate in the state of New Mexico. It's 40-year-old Solomon Pena. Pena was a candidate in the November 2022 midterm election. So, no, actually, I was thinking it was 2020, but now that I'm looking at my notes, it was 2022. So it hasn't been that long. But after he lost his run for the state congressional seat that he was running it for, this was, again, a state congressional seat, not U.S. House of Representatives. It was for the state of New Mexico. He claimed, oh, the election was stolen. It was stolen from me. There was voter fraud. There was election fraud. Stop the steal. Blah blah blah. I wonder where he got that idea, huh? So Pena, he tried to pressure some officials into overturning the results. They told him no. And then, what do you know? All of a sudden, their houses get shot up. So it turns out Pena and some of his acquaintances were the ones who went over and shot up their houses. They targeted four different elected officials, and one of them, their 10-year-old daughter, was almost shot. They shot into the house, and she was in bed asleep at the time. And she said she thought there was a bug on her face because she felt something like tickling her face. Turns out it was drywall. They shot right above her head in her bed. They could have killed her. So these shootings took place in December of 2022 and then January of 2023. Well, there was a traffic stop near one of their homes, near one of the shootings on the night of the shooting. And that led to the arrest of one of his accomplices. They found weapons in this person's car. They found a bunch of fentanyl, enough to indicate that this guy was not using the fentanyl, that he was actually intending to sell it. Well, they struck a deal with this person, and the person became a cooperator in this bigger case, in the Pena case. And so the other men were arrested, and the police figured out, through talking with all of them, oh, Pena was basically the mastermind of all this. So they arrest Pena, they charge all of them with federal crimes. And because the cooperating witness admitted that Pena had paid him and others to take part in these shootings, they charged them all with conspiracy. So Pena himself also took part in one of these shootings. He didn't just pay these men and they went and did it themselves. He actually was there. He actually took part in shooting up at least one of the houses. So the trial was supposed to start in September of last year, 2024. Well, Pena allegedly threatened someone, so the case had to be postponed. I can't figure out, I don't see anything in news reports or court filings showing who it is that he threatened, but his attorney withdrew from the case. So it could have been her, she could have just said, I don't want anything to do with this. I don't know. So the court assigned a new attorney. They had to allow that attorney time to get up to speed with all of the details, because this is a very serious case. You don't want him to claim, oh, I didn't have proper representation, and so I get a do-over, and or that it gets thrown out as a mistrial. So and it's important to note too, he made this threat after they caught him soliciting other inmates to kill witnesses in the case. So he was trying to get other people, other inmates at this prison, to go kill the witnesses, his friends that he paid to do this, to stop them from testifying against him. And you guys won't be shocked to hear, if you don't remember this part, this was not his first rodeo. This was not his first time in prison. There was this other case where I think he drove an SUV into a store window, went in and, ransacked the place, stole a bunch of stuff. So he did time for that already. So these are the actual bad hombres, the ones that Trump should be shipping off to El Salvador. Anyway, the trial started earlier this month after a few days of testimony, only 5 hours of deliberation. They found Pena guilty on all 13 charges. So he was convicted of 1 count of conspiracy, 4 counts of intimidation and interference with federally protected activities, meaning voting, 4 counts of using or carrying a firearm in connection with a crime of violence, 1 count of being a felon in possession of a firearm, because, yeah, like I said, he is already a felon, wasn't supposed to have weapons, and 3 counts of solicitation to commit a crime of violence. So those last 3 counts were added in 2024 because of him asking other felons, other prisoners to go kill on his behalf. So Pena will be sentenced in July of this year. He is looking at a mandatory minimum of 60 years. Not like maybe a minimum of 60. No, mandatory minimum of 60 years. Maximum of life in prison, which, I mean, he's 40, so kind of the same thing. I mean, when you're 40 and you got a minimum of 60 years, yeah, you're spending life in prison. So there you go. Another one of Donald Trump's fine supporters, felons of a feather, right? All right, guys, I will let you know when he's sentenced and what they say, but again, not really a shocker, not, spoiler alert, he's going to die in prison where he obviously belongs. I mean, the guy's got a little something loose up there. All right, thank you all so much for watching, listening. Please like, please share, and subscribe to the channel if you have not. Please donate if you can. Love you all. Take care. Talk with you soon.